Listen, I ain't no psychologist. I ain't no therapist. But Martin Keown has definitely got some sorts of complex. He's the only tall man I know that walks around with little man syndrome. You know, I thought Ty had it bad from AFTV, and that's no cuss at Ty because you've made your name of being delusional, and Keown is following suit. He's about as delusional as they come, Martin Keown. God forbid you say anything bad about Arsenal. Oh, right or wrong, he's coming down on you like a ton of bricks.
Maybe time up in terms of the title challenge. Is it?
No, it's not over yet. Of course it isn't.
There's no more room for error.
No, but I think Arsenal yesterday, you saw an improvement with Ødegaard in there.
Listen, you don't have to be Mystic Bloody Meg to know that we are out of a title race. Already we're needing bloody miracles and it's not even Christmas yet. Talking of Christmas, he's going on like Ødegaard's the Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. With him in the team, yeah, we're going to kick on and win everything. We're going to go for the quadruple. It's going to take a lot more than bloody Ødegaard for us to catch up with Liverpool and kick on to have a better season than we're already having now.
So it's not the end of the world, Jim. If it's how you cope really from between now and the end of the season.
I mean, in the midst of Martin Keown's delusional fantasies, come Christmas when we're 15 points off the top, God forbid, but he'll be saying the same thing. Well, it's how we cope from now to the end of the season. The man's always living on a prayer.
This side, the way they're playing at this moment in time, won't win the Premier League. They're not good enough to win it.
Simon Jordan is spot on. At the moment, we don't look like winning anything. The only thing associated with winning at Arsenal right now is that bloody dog walking around the training ground, shitting everywhere. And what the hell is Martin Keown writing down? You see him always going like this, writing stuff down whenever someone's ready to talk nasty about Arsenal. Simon Jordan said, well, yeah, at the moment, Arsenal ain't going to win the Premier League. And then all of a sudden, you see Martin Keown go, right, he's on his pen and paper now. Right, I'll get you back for this, Simon Jordan. You just see if I don't.
You look at the two teams, in the game yesterday, you look at Chelsea and you look at Arsenal, and Arsenal are 5 years into a project, and the margins between the two sides were not significant.
I mean, every time Simon Jordan says a bloody word, Martin Keown's there on his pen and paper. He's ready, right? Simon Jordan, he's in his head, he's flying. He's going like this. Simon Jordan, you've never been an invincible like me. Simon Jordan, you've never played football. He looks up briefly. Simon Jordan this, Simon Jordan that. Simon Jordan is an imbecile. Anything. Is he writing death threats on there?
I don't think Declan Rice is particularly shining. I don't think he's
playing with a broken toe, isn't he?
Yeah, he has got a broken toe, actually, Simon. I mean, he doesn't give Simon Jordan the common courtesy of looking at him in the eye when he's talking to him. I mean, what's he always writing down in these books? What's he always looking down like that? It's hardly professional. Is it the delusion? Is he going through some sort of memory loss all the time? Has he headed the ball one too many times and he's lost his marbles? So he has to write down everything to keep on track? I mean, put your bloody book away, put your pen away, because it doesn't look professional at all.
What I will say is that Ødegaard is back, and
do you know how many times Martin Keown's mentioned Martin Ødegaard's name in this segment? I mean, any excuse, it doesn't even have to be relevant no more. I saved the cat from a tree the other day, it was Martin Ødegaard-esque. I kicked a bit of litter on the ground the other day, it was Martin Ødegaard-esque. Every excuse he gets is Martin Ødegaard this, Martin Ødegaard that. I mean, he's mentioned it so many times. What is it, because you've got the same name as him? You walk around with the same name as Arsenal's captain and it makes you feel better about yourself?
One player shouldn't mean that much, Martin.
No, but...
Even Jim's had enough of it now. He's mentioned Martin Ødegaard so many times. Jim's like, well, surely that one player shouldn't mean that much. Oh, it means a lot to old Martin Keown. You open his heart there, mate. It says number 10 Ødegaard in there.
But the summer recruitment, though, Martin, it hasn't come up to spec, has it?
Well, Moreno then breaks his...
You've got to look upon it as a failure in the summer recruitment.
In his shoulder. In the first training session, I thought he did well when he came on yesterday, Moreno. I thought he was looking to pass in tight areas, and he looked like he was at the necessary level.
Jim's right. That's what it's boiled down to. It was a poor summer transfer window. We didn't bring in a striker, right? And then when he goes on about the poor summer transfer window, who's the first name Keon brings up? Yeah, you'd think it'd be Martin Ødegaard because everything's Martin Ødegaard, but it wasn't Martin bloody Ødegaard. It was bloody Mikel Merino. That's our summer transfer window. That was our summer transfer window. Ex bloody Newcastle, Sociedad, third choice central midfielder. That's who we've got to write home about. Bloody Mourinho, and he has the cheek to. And you see how long it took to think about how good he said. Oh, well, when he came on, I thought he'd done well, but it took him half an hour to think of any good reason why he'd done well. He's all stuttery this, stuttery that, and then he, quickly pops into. He said, yeah, I think he's at a good level. But you don't give no evidence for that. You just say, I think he's at a good level. You're delusional, Keown. Delusional.
Arsenal are desperate for a centre forward. End of.
There you go. That's what it boils down to. The season was over before it even started. At the end of the summer transfer window, when we didn't think it was a good idea to bring in a striker, it's come to bite us back in the arse. Jim White knows it. The Arsenal fans know it. It's the only person that don't bloody know it is Keon.
But what I'm talking about, Jim, when that creativity is missing from Ødegaard, everybody stops scoring goals. He's so important to Arsenal.
He's at it again, Keown. Any excuse, any chance to say Martin Ødegaard name, and that's it, he pounces on it. He says it again there. He's so important. Yeah, every time Dick and Harry knows he's bloody important. But listen, what's the point of having a good creative midfielder, if we've got no strikers to finish the bloody chances? You need a striker to finish those chances.
Arsenal have built a side now over 5 years, and it can't turn off one player. It just simply cannot.
I mean, you can hear it in Simon Jordan's voice now. He's very rarely disheartened with a conversation. He likes a good old debate, especially with bloody Keon. He knows how to rile Keon right up. But even he's like, you can't just depend on. I've had enough of this now. I can't listen to it no more, Keon. You're sucking the life out of me with this Martin Ødegaard love affair. You can't keep using Martin Ødegaard. It's ridiculous. And he's bloody right. You need more. It's not this segment was a segment on who will win the Premier League. Not bloody Ødegaard FC. It's Arsenal bloody FC.
5 years into a tenure, we do have to look at things and say progress is great.
So you're suggesting then that we get rid of Arteta?
No, I'm not. Don't get all tapped about something because it's your beloved Arsenal.
Martin Keown, the only tall man in the world with little man syndrome. He's pounced on Simon Jordan, starts putting words in his mouth saying, oh, what are you saying? We should get Arteta. So we say we should get rid of Arteta. Simon Jordan's like, no one's saying that, Martin. Calm down. You know what I mean? The only man out there who's 6 foot something and he's got little man syndrome. He's got PTSD. When he heard Simon Jordan say, oh, I think things should be reviewed, things are not looking great at the moment, sort of thing. That's it, he's gone in, it's PTSD. That's what Wenger must have said to him on his final days at Arsenal. Look, Martin, I think we've got to start reviewing. You're a bit pony now. It's time to call it a day on your career.
I'm suggesting you have.
No.
I'm suggesting you have.
No.
I'm suggesting you have.
No. There's no limit.
I do think this is an important season for Arsenal.
Every season's important.
Well,
Simon Jordan's right. Keon says every season's important. No. This is an important season because I'll tell you something for nothing. If we don't win a trophy this season, you will see the exodus. It will be like when Henry decided to leave to go and find the Champions League. Then you saw the exodus. Then you saw Nasri leave, Adebayor leave, Van Persie leave. It'll be the same. Come the end of the summer, we ain't got a trophy in that bloody cabinet. You're going to see Saliba first out and the domino effect will start. Then the Starboy might go. Then Ødegaard might go. God forbid, Martin Keown. And here we go. The moment the conversation completely breaks down and Jim White and Simon Jordan have had enough and they attack Keown and his personality. Watch this because this is funny. Keown completely gets rattled.
If you don't mind me saying so, it's a typical deflection act that you perform week in,
you taught me to do that.
When we
You've
talk
taught
about
me to do that on this show.
and we begin to get under your skin.
Of course they need to do better.
Liverpool,
One at a time.
What you do is you redirect because you cannot be objective about Arsenal. The moment anyone talks to you about Arsenal, you reduce the conversation to something that makes it about defending the indefensible at a time. Arsenal are not progressing the way they should.
Should be bottom of the league then?
But this happens all the time. Let's talk about Liverpool.
No.
Because you're getting at me about Arsenal. Let's
Jim,
put it out to the Arsenal fans.
Just a minute. No,
Martin, I'm in charge.
Yeah, but
because it's 10:15.
I don't want to sound like a broken record.
You can shout
okay?
on me if you want.
I don't want to sound like a broken record.
And now there you go, Simon Jordan and Jim White have had enough with the conversation. They don't want to hear it no more. They don't want to hear about Ødegaard for the 1000th time. They don't want to hear about the Premier League no more and who's going to win it. that it's got to a point now where they're attacking Keown now. They've had enough, and rightly so, because he's always defending the indefensible, and that's the problem with him. You know, he's got tunnel vision with Arsenal. He doesn't like anyone who criticises them. He comes across like, again, he's like the only tall man in the world with little man syndrome. He's always pouncing and he's not thinking about what he's saying. You know, as soon as he hears anything negative, it don't matter what context it's in, he's having you up. So, and then Simon Jordan and Jim White, he'll explain it to him. You know, Jim White says, as soon as we say something bad about Arsenal, you're always looking to deflect it. You bring up Liverpool, you bring up Man City. It's like you don't want to hear the home truths, and Martin Keown don't want to hear the home truths about Arsenal. Thank you for watching this video. If you like my reaction videos, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, and up the Gooners.